Hey people, it's the drama exploit video that I promised. Before we start, I want to credit the long guide for the information used in this video. Alright, so drama exploit is based on assault phases. So if you need tricks for infinite assaults, I recommend checking out my assault size trick or sentry trick videos. Also, this video can get quite technical because we are exploiting the game mechanics after all. So don't panic if all of this is hard to digest. I'll try to make it as simple as I can. So what is drama exploit? To explain that, I'll first have to explain briefly on assault phases. An assault is actually made up of multiple chunks or phases. The first phase is the anticipation phase, where enemies already start spawning but are not aggressive. The assault bar will not show up yet, but we can tell by how the music suddenly changes and starts building up. Like this.
Here they come! A hostage rescue attempt is underway.
This phase is generally 30 seconds long, but can differ based on the heist itself, like bank heist having a very long anticipation phase. Next is build, where the assault bar starts showing. It lasts for 35 seconds before going into sustain. Both build and sustain is where enemies just keep spawning and spawning even after we kill them. The length of sustain can vary, based on the progress of the heist and number of criminals, both human and AI in the game. Then from there, it goes into fade. Fade is when regular assault enemies stop respawning and is the best time for us to do objectives. I'll explain the conditions for fade to end later. Then when fade ends, it goes into regroup. This is where a fellow heister will sound off the enemy retreat, like this. Regroup is supposed to last up to a maximum of 15 seconds, but in this clip it ends immediately due to low drama. Then the assault bar disappears, enters a short assault break, and the cycle repeats again from anticipation. So what drama exploit does is to lock the assault phase in fade indefinitely, where it's a heister's dream come true. It's pretty much bang high stealth by then and can get boring, so I only recommend using drama exploit for tedious achievements like Doctor or Farmer Miserable, Kiss the Chef, and Death Sentence 1 down achievements. Now let's talk about ending fade. For fade to end and go into regroup, it performs 2 consecutive checks. 1. Check that there are less than 50 assault enemies alive, or fade has already been active for 350 seconds or about 6 minutes. If either condition is true, then 2. Check that drama is low. So what we're doing is to ensure drama is never low enough for fade to end. Alright Unknown Knight, so keep drama high. But what is drama? Well, drama is literally drama. It represents the fierceness of the contact between criminals and cops. There is no visual indication for this though. Perhaps hard modders can add that in. Game mechanics wise, it is measured as a number from 0 to 100 or 0.00 to 1.00. It does affect the other assault phases as well, but it's pretty minor, so I won't touch on those. As for fade, it requires drama to drop below 25 before going to regroup. Drama drops from 100 to 0 in 30 seconds or roughly 3.33 per second, and from 100 to below 25 takes about 22.5 seconds. And here are the ways drama goes up. When tased or entering bleed out, add 10 drama. Not worth our time and users are down, so we won't use it. When entering a complete or fatal down, plus 20 drama. Same here, wasters are down, so we don't want it. Last, and also the one we're looking for, is when a player or AI criminal takes bullet or melee damage. That means we cannot self-inflict drama with environmental fire or explosives. It involves a formula, so I have to go in detail. The formula is damage taken divided by 230, which is the default health of players, times 0.5, then times a distance modifier between enemy and heister. This modifier is 0.5 at 60 meters and increases linearly to 1 at 0 meters. 3 things to note here. For AI bots, instead of 230, their actual hit points is used instead, which is in the thousands, so the results can really vary. Secondly, only actual damage is counted. For example, if we are hit for 225 damage while wearing a suit, only the suit's 20 armor damage is counted. Since health is not replenishable easily, we are going to use armor for this. And last, the damage portion after division is capped at 1, so it doesn't matter if we take more than 230 damage. Whew, so that's drama. You guys confused yet? Don't worry, you won't have to remember this. It's just for those who are interested in the mechanics. Now let's see how to exploit drama. So to exploit drama, we need to repeatedly take bullet or melee damage. Since we are using armor to do it, Armorer in ICTV is the best. Here are the two ways which I use. The first way, drama for dummies, is to sit before a sniper and repeatedly get shot. An ICTV armorer can withstand the sniper shot and can recover faster than the sniper can shoot. A first aid kit with Upper's Ace is recommended here just in case things go wrong. Of course, the armorer player has to sit there and be bored throughout the heist, but this allows other players to do objectives with only scripted enemies to handle. It's basically the loud version of camera duty. The second way is to use a regular enemy. Bait the enemy into shooting until our armor is almost broken, then hide, recover, and repeat. This is a troublesome way of raising drama, but is the only other way if snipers are not available. And on to the strategy. Strategy time! We are going to put all that knowledge to good use. So we'll play the heist as per usual, and then about 10 seconds before entering Fate, we want to start generating drama, so that Fate will not end prematurely because of the less than 50 enemies alive condition. But how do we tell when it's near Fate? This is a tricky question. Only the game host using a hard mod can tell exactly. For non-host or without using a hard mod, this is what we can do. So we know that Fate will happen sometime after we see the sword bar appear. For a single solo player, it will be at least 2 minutes and 35 seconds before entering Fate. And for a full crew, either with players or bots, it will be at least 2 minutes and 59 seconds. So we'll do some simple calculation and then start generating drama from there. Like in this clip, the assault bar shows at 6:35 game time, and I'm playing with bots, so at 2 minutes 59 seconds and Fate should start after 9:34 game time. Or if we sense that enemies seem to stop spawning, we should immediately start to generate drama. Either way, once we meet these conditions, the drama player will do their job by sitting in front of a sniper or by baiting an enemy to create drama, while the other players clear out the remaining enemies. Then it's easy peasy time. The other players can do objectives until it's time to escape. Wait, Unknown Knight, how do you or a solo player do it then? Whew boy, another difficult question. For a solo player, it will be very tedious. We'll have to juggle between all the tasks, generate drama, kill off remaining enemies, and do objectives. The generating drama and killing part will be done first. When we enter Fate, we kill some enemies, get shot on purpose, then hide, recover, and repeat. And when we are left with a sniper or a single enemy, then we'll juggle between drama and objectives. For this, I follow something I call the 5-15 rule. Generate drama 5 times in a row, either by sniper or enemies, then do objectives for 15 seconds and come back to generate drama. So why 5 times and why 15 seconds? Let us go back to the formula. Since we already take enough damage each time, we can consider the first value to be 1. That leaves only the distance modifier, which is mostly out of our control. So best case we can generate is 50 drama and best worst case is 25 drama. Let us assume we're at mid distance, so that's 37.5 drama. A sniper takes about 3.5 seconds to shoot, so after the drop, we gain about 25 drama each time. After 4 shots, we will be near or at 100 drama, but let's not take the chance in case the sniper is further than we thought, so we'll take a 5th shot to reach 100. Then at this point, although we have 22.5 seconds before drama drops too low, again we don't want to take the chance, because snipers can and will miss. So instead, I give myself 15 seconds to do objectives, just in case. Then repeat until objectives are done and we can escape. Sounds really tedious, right? It is. That's why it's better to do this with at least 2 players. Alright, so after this video today, looks like many more people will be getting their death sentence and 1 down masks. Use this trick sparingly, otherwise don't blame me for making the game boring for you. I've already completed 4 heists using this trick, which I will have to edit and comment on first before release. I redid Crossroads solo as an example, so stay tuned to see how I do it in full. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.
We got a sniper ready to force the Gensec trucks off the road at the corner of McCarthy. The Gensec trucks... I've never seen shooting like that. 4 shots and 4 transports are taken out. Make it count.
Go faster!
This shouldn't take long. Hold your ground.
Down! Extra ammo over here!
Brace yourselves. The drill is down. Cops all over it. The cops just shut off the drill. The drill is down. Cops all over it. Shut off the drill. The cops disabled the drill, guys.
Halfway to see it, motherfucker! Go to him!
The drill is down. Cops all over it.
Dozer! Big guy coming!
The cops disabled the drill, guys.
Dozer! Zjebał tam jeden dozer! Halfway to see him! Dozer out!
The cops just shut off the drill. Drill stopped. The cops disabled it.
A sniper! bag. Got the little bastard magic bastard. Got the shield. Medic! Enemy medic is no more! Take cover, sniper! Taser, stay back! Got the taser!
I have visual contact.
Got the little bastard magic bastard! Taser! Taser rack! Sniper! Radio Sansil!
job. I'm sending the van. Keep loading.
Sniper! Hey, sniper!
Now. Not even a block away.
Sniper!
All right, he's here. Get the loot over there.
Watch out, sniper! Sniper! Take cover, sniper!
Okay, I'm heading up. You can stay for more.
Sniper!
last forever. Great job, gentlemen. You have to tie down a hostage in order to be able to trade with the police. We can get the entire crew back. If there are no civilians around or you're out of cable ties, you can intimidate a law enforcer and make him cuff himself.